Hello and welcome to my fragrance channel, or welcome back if you've seen any of my previous videos. I'm so excited to be getting to make another video today, and today's is all about rose perfumes. I love rose perfumes. It is one of my favorite notes. It has been since I was honestly a little girl. I loved the smell of roses, and I know that rose perfumes aren't for everybody. I know for some people they kind of feel like they smell a bit mature, or they're not really into florals or whatever, but I feel like there can be a rose perfume for almost everyone. And so I have quite the range today, from very fresh, bright, dewy roses to deeper, warmer, more like date night type of rose perfumes. So anyway, here we go. I can't remember exactly how many I have, but it's several, and let's get into it. So the first one, I'm going to start with the most fresh rose scents and veer into the deeper, warmer ones. The first one is one of my favorite fragrances. I am obsessed with Alberto Morillo's in general as a perfumer and his line Mise en Cire. I smelled the first Mise en Cire fragrance that I ever tried, which was Treasure, while I was on vacation with my husband. I got a sample, I wore it out to dinner, and I had a couple women come up to me while I was out and ask what I was wearing, and one woman, while I was standing there talking to her, got on her phone and ordered it. And so that was my first experience with Mise en Cire. I was like, oh wow, this is really good. And I ended up trying several more. This was the second one that I got, and I love this perfume. This is Edition de Veronique. And to me, this smells like a bar of triple milled, luxurious French rose soap that might be in some really lovely hotel somewhere beautiful. It does have a very soapy, rosy quality. There's juniper in this, there's iris as well, rose of course, and musk as well. There's a lot of musk in here, a very fresh musk. It really does have the quality of a bar of soap. It's not a shampoo-y soapy quality. I don't know if you know what I mean, but you know how there's that fresh shampoo-y quality, or like a body wash, but then there's that bar soap quality, and I don't know exactly what makes something smell like a bar of soap, but that is what I picture when I picture this. So I know this one won't be for everyone, but if you love that type of smell, I think this is a beautiful scent. And when I first got it, I thought that it didn't last very well. But then I think I took off the sweater that I was wearing and forgot about it. Then the next morning I was picking up the sweater to put it in the laundry, and I was like, oh my goodness, this smells, did I already wash this? This smells so good. And it was this perfume. It lasted so well. So it is a really soft scent, and I did go a little bit nose blind to it. I think all the Mise en Cire fragrances use molecular components that do make it a bit easier to go nose blind, but I love this one. It does actually last really well. I would say intimate projection, but really good longevity, and it's just the most beautiful soapy rose scent. So love this one. As always, I am affiliated with Mise en Cire, and you can get 10% off in my description box. To be clear, I am an affiliate because I'm obsessed. I had bought 4 of their fragrances, and Anna Lauren on here had kindly sent me one of theirs as well because she knew how much I loved them and was not affiliated with them in any way. And I think I just finally made enough videos on TikTok about them where they were like, okay, she won't leave us alone, let's give her a code. But no, they've been so kind. But I guess I just want to be clear that I'm an affiliate because I loved them first, and I don't love them because I'm an affiliate, if that makes sense. So anyway, the next one is Diptyque Eau Rose. Now, I was hesitant to include this one in this video because I just think the lasting power is not good, and I can't even say that it's the most unique rose scent ever. I think the one before is a more unique scent, but this one's just pretty. If you want kind of that rose watery type of rose scent, this one's beautiful. It's very fresh and dewy, maybe a tiny bit sweet or fruity. I don't even remember what the notes are. I need to relook at the notes of this one, but it's beautiful. It's really pretty. I just don't gravitate towards wearing it as much because of the lasting power. I feel like I would have to spray it everywhere. A friend of mine wears this, and she always smells incredible, but she literally has to douse herself in it. So This one is really pretty. I just feel like it's not worth the money for the performance that you get. But I do love Diptyque in general. I think it's a really pretty brand, and I do love this scent. I just wish it had better longevity. Let me know if you know of a similar scent in the comments to Diptyque Eau Rose that has better performance. The next one is Ex Nihilo's Lust in Paradise, and this isn't necessarily a like rose, you know, an extremely rose focused fragrance as far as the note breakdown. When you look at the notes, there are a lot of other things in here. Well, not a lot of notes, but there are other things in here. There's other florals, there's peony, there's lychee as well. I think there's pink pepper, there's some musk, but there's also Petallia, and rose isn't listed on Fragrantica as one of the main notes in here, but it's in the scent pyramid, like, you know, the second one down or something is rose. And Petallia, which is a note in this fragrance, is said to smell very much like a rose. And to me, this is dewy, dew-covered roses and peony like blossoms. It smells watery, and not in like a watered down way. This one's actually got great performance. I sprayed a few sprays and I think I like choked out the people. I might have oversprayed a little bit, and I think I choked out the people around me because a friend of mine was like 15 feet away and was like, wow, I can smell you. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but it has really good performance, great longevity, and it smells watery. Like, it very much gives me the image of like you have gathered, you know, peonies and roses fresh from the garden after a morning rain, and they're still dewy, and that's exactly what this smells like to me. It is beautiful, it's happy and uplifting, but it's also like where I feel like Eau Rose is a light, fresh rose scent that's not maybe super special. Like, it's really pretty, but it's not super special. I feel like Lust in Paradise still is a really light, pretty, rosy scent, but it is special. I feel like this one could be a signature, especially in like the summer and the spring. It's absolutely beautiful, but it still is just very, very light, and I'm shocked by the performance given the scent profile because it's just so light and dewy, and yet it lasts for hours and hours and hours. So I love this one, big fan. Okay, the next one is a newer love of mine. This one is actually out of stock right now on Twisted Lily. This is the Means Peregrina, and I think this one is so beautiful. Again, this isn't just rose. Obviously, I think the most enjoyable rose fragrances for a lot of people are ones that incorporate other scents as well. Some warmth, there's some sweetness or whatever. And so this has rose. It also has gardenia and jasmine, but I don't find the gardenia to be very present in this. Definitely the floral that presents itself the most to my nose is rose. And then there's also a beautiful caramel note as it dries down. There's vanilla, but there's myrrh, I think, a myrrh note. And it is a really, really special fragrance. This one smells, the florals in it are very fresh to my nose. Like it's not like a sugary floral or a synthetic smelling floral. The floral notes smell very fresh and realistic to my nose, but then as it dries down, there are those very sweet, warm notes as well. The caramel note in here and just the general kind of warmth and sweetness in the dry down are absolutely stunning. This one just feels incredibly romantic to me. Like, I think as far as like Valentine's Day, this one would just be so perfect. I sampled this one. I ordered a sample from Twisted Lily, then I ordered another sample from Twisted Lily, and I could not stop thinking about it. So I went through 2 samples, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get it. And then they actually kindly sent this over as a gift. So this one was gifted, but I had sampled it twice and fell in love with it and ended up requesting it. So this one is so beautiful. I will say, I wish that the longevity was better. It's not bad, but it's not like, wow, that fragrance has great longevity. Like the next couple that I'm going to talk about are better performers, but this one is like, it's average. It's totally fine for a fragrance. It's not like it has bad longevity or performance. It's just not amazing, but it's perfectly fine performance, and such a beautiful scent. Like I said, I just think it's so romantic smelling and the perfect balance of like lush florals and warm sweet notes. So I think if like Delena Exclusive, which I'm about to mention, is too much for you, like too warm, too deep, too powdery or something, this one's like a little step back, I feel like. And I think this one actually could also be a great signature, but in my head it's a date night scent. So the next one, as I mentioned, Delena Exclusive. This is a beautiful, powdery, fluffy, warm rose scent to my nose. It is my preference over the original Delena, although I love the original as well. To me, this smells like the powderiness in this reminds me of what I imagine. It's not what actually eating Turkish Delight feels like or smells like, because I have had Turkish Delight and I do actually love it. That's not exactly what this smells like, but that's what I imagine when you look at Turkish Delight and you're like, oh, it's a rose, like powdered sugar candy, and it looks so like fluffy and powdery and soft. That's what this smells like to me, like what Turkish Delight looks like. That was a very rambly description, but it's also got this beautiful vanilla notes, some incense, some oud. Not a lot of oud to my nose, like I wouldn't identify it as oud, but it's got that nice woodiness as well. It's very creamy and warm. I think this is one of the most beautifully kind of well-rounded and well-balanced fragrances that I've maybe ever smelled. I love the rose in this. It's obviously a much warmer rose, and to me, like the rose in this doesn't smell as much like this one. There's an element of a very true rose scent, like you're actually sticking your nose in a floral alongside those warmer, deeper, sweeter notes. To me, this smells more like a fragrance that has rose in it, and that it's not got that like, you know, fresh rosy quality, but it's so, so beautiful. This is my go-to for special occasions, especially like in the fall and winter. If there's cooler weather and I have something special to go to, this is immediately what I gravitate towards. It always gets a ton of compliments. I think it projects obviously really, really well. The performance on this is beautiful, and I will always repurchase this fragrance. The next one is probably of no surprise. This is Montblanc Intense Cafe. I think I've mentioned it in my date nights, winter, whatever. I mentioned it in my other two videos, I think, and this one, when I first smelled it, I actually didn't like, and I will say I think I like the dry down better than the opening. Montblanc to me can have a slightly synthetic quality in the opening. Not bad. Some of them I feel like it's worse than others. Some of them feel a bit harsh to my nose, and this one I love. Right when you spray it on, I feel like it can have a little bit of that, but after like 5 minutes, I don't smell that. And as it dries down, the more it dries down, I think it just becomes so beautiful. To me, this is a creamy rose latte, not with coffee. I know coffee's supposed to be in this. I really don't get much coffee. I do get coffee in the ristretto version. In the original, I couldn't pick out coffee as a note if I tried, honestly, but it does have a creamy, like latte-like vibe, and it's just very warm. It's very pretty. I do love especially the later dry down on this, like 6 hours in. It just develops so beautifully. Again, as with all Montblanc's, great performance. I feel like I'm never gonna need more than this like tiny, how big is this? This is 1.7 fluid ounces, and I feel like I will never need more than this because I use like 2 sprays, whereas normally I am a bit of an oversprayer generally, but you don't need to be with this one. I think it's beautiful. It's not a particularly lactonic fragrance, but it does have a warm, creamy quality to me. It's much denser than Delena Exclusive to me. Delena Exclusive has a fluffy quality, and this is a much more dense fragrance, I think, but it is really beautiful. I love this in the fall and winter and obviously early spring while it's still cold. Lastly, Oud Satin Mood. I actually don't have my bottle. I lent it to someone, but I ended up trying Oud Satin Mood originally because of Yana from the Scented on here, but I feel like Oud Satin Mood is a very, I can't think of a better way to describe it than saturated. Like when I smell it, I feel like if it was a color, it would be the most saturated, jewel-toned color. It's a very opulent and luxurious smelling. I do have to be in the mood for it because it is so kind of it has such a presence, it projects so much, it lasts so long, it's so kind of deep and rich smelling. I have to be in the mood for it and craving it. It has to be usually very cold, but I do think it is a beautiful deep rose vanilla oud scent. And so if you're interested in something that is very rich and like very much a special occasion fragrance, I feel like Oud Satin Mood is the perfect option if you like rose. I think the rose in that one is a very, very sweet rose. So again, it doesn't have like the fresh rose quality. It's a very sweet, almost candied rose. So it's not one that I reach for a lot. I do think it's beautiful. I just have a little tiny bottle of it, but it is a really just a special fragrance. I feel like it's very memorable, it's very unique, and I do love it, but it's one that has to be the right moment to wear. That is it. These are my favorite rose fragrances. Let me know in the comments if you like rose, and if you do, what your favorite rose fragrances that you have tried are. I would love to hear, and thank you so much for watching if you got through this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.